Hello, chat. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to Ninja Gato show. Today, we have an interview with one of the coolest cats on Twitch, and that is NoodleCat! NoodleCat does things. Hello, 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 NoodleCat. How are you?
Hey, doing well. How are you?
Doing well. Doing well. Now I gotta get that one tick of volume, which is always a struggle for me for some reason. There we go. There we go. There's NoodleCat. Hello. Hello, Namori. Hello, Maybox. Hello, Just Made Ninjas. Hello, Nepe. Welcome. Welcome to another interview show. How are you doing, Noodle? How you doing? You excited? You excited?
I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm all the things.
All the things. All the things. Well, don't worry. This is a lot of fun. Everybody who's done an interview with me has enjoyed it enough to want to come back for another. So let me I'm gonna shift over a little bit. That way the alerts don't block me. I'm gonna get a little closer if you don't mind.
Yeah,
All right. So let me do this. So the first question I usually ask is the lore behind the name. Can you tell me the lore behind the name of NoodleCat Does Things?
Unfortunately, there's not a lot there. I'm a noodle cat and I do things.
Nice. Nice.
I know that I think it was a separate question, but the model itself was just something that I scribbled on a sticky note a long time ago, and then I was like, I don't know exactly what I want to stream. I'll just stream things. So it's a noodle cat, and I do things.
Nice.
Pretty simple.
Nice. Actually, can you demo your model? Like, can you give us a tour of how awesome your model is?
That's a good question. Hold on. Let's see if... Oh, I think we already have people in chat changing my colors here, but...
It's okay. That's okay. So usually you're a calico, right?
Yeah, let me see if I can change this back. Yeah, like... Calico.
The model kind of reminds me of cat dogs, says Just Made Ninjas.
I've heard this a couple times, yes. I've been told to make the dog end.
Alright, so this is your default look. And then
yes,
people
and
can change it.
Back.
And I noticed that on your channel, if people put emotes in your channel, those become stamps that go on top of you.
That is true. That is true. It doesn't work with your like general emojis, but Twitch emotes. They do show up as stickers.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, and then the next thing I usually do is I shout out the guest, which is gonna play a random clip. So do you have a copy of my stream open so you can see what clip plays?
I do, yes.
All right, so I'm gonna do the exclamation point SO, NoodleCat Does Things. And let's see what clip comes up.
This is so funny.
Nice.
An absolute banger, too. I have never heard this before just now, and I love it.
Thank you for head pats, whoever that is.
Nice. It looks like you're playing Elden Ring, and
oh yeah,
a song came on that just looked like it amped you up right before a battle. Is that what happened?
Yeah, that was. I know that was pretty late game. And then I was just taking requests of like, I'm tired of hearing the same boss music over and over again. So somebody just sent me, I wish I remembered what it was. I know that was Starman, but I don't remember what the actual tune was. It was something from like an old PlayStation like demo pack or something, but it was pretty rad. And we just played that over the boss music. That was a lot of fun.
All right. Gato, what screen color are you using? I'm using a chroma key screen thingamajig. But I don't have a key on NoodleCat. I don't know if
you might be looking for mine.
I don't know what X color
I just threw the hex in my chat. If that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he wants. I don't even know. I don't even know hex. So interesting. All right. So I have shouted you out. I've pinned your channel to the chat. So if any gatos want to go over there and follow NoodleCat and also drop some emotes, Twitch emotes, you can paste them on NoodleCat's body. You can also follow NoodleCat and collect channel points to be able to do fun stuff with NoodleCats. Just take the hex of the BG. Wait, what? I don't know what you guys are asking for, so I'm just gonna keep moving on. All right. So the other traditional question I ask is the hardware used to stream. So what hardware and peripherals do you use to operate a NoodleCat stream?
It got surprisingly complicated as the did that show up on that screen yet? Oh, there it is.
Oh, they just literally did a bunch of shipping noodles on top of you. Nice.
Yeah, just a bunch of that's actually if I can tangent for a second, that's a
Sure.
funny redeem because someone just decided that they wanted to get rid of points, so I just named one Dump Nudes. The noodles.
Oh, so they just dumped a bunch of noodles on top of you. Nice.
Yeah, and then it just became like a thing where it just does like a whole Niagara system thing of just dumping them there. So, and in that tangent, I forgot the original question.
Oh, the hardware required to operate your stream.
Hardware, yes. Early on, it was very simple, but I now have 2 different PCs mounted under my desk.
Oh, you use a dual PC setup. Okay.
Yeah, I do the dual PC setup. So the one PC runs the Unreal air quotes game and the OBS side, and then that all grabs the capture card from my game PC because I was having issues with like frame rate and whatnot when streaming, and a hardware, or I should say a resource heavy game on top of my model. So I just split that. I split that up, which was very, very helpful. Very nice. It also lets me do dev streams a lot easier because then I don't have to like PNG it or anything like that.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So your gaming PC, what hardware is in that one?
Oh gosh, I don't remember CPU and all that, but I just upgraded my GPU to a 4080 Super.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, so runs things a lot better now, thank God. And I think it's 32 gigs of RAM.
Nice. Nice.
That'll
do it. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I remembered CPU, but that's the one I always forget. And then I just swapped out my hard drive for an SSD, so things now load up faster.
That's always good. That's always good. And then
yeah.
What does your capture PC use?
That uses, I was able to get a 4060. Is that a TI?
Mm.
That was when it was on sale at Micro Center. So I snagged that one, and then that was actually, this PC was pre-built by a coworker of mine, so I actually don't know a lot of the specs on that aside from what I swapped out, which was mostly GPU. Yeah.
I see. Oh, nice, Allred. Nice. Oh, now you're all black.
Yep.
Okay.
Let me check.
And then what about
still switching.
what about peripherals? Do you use what do you use for facial capture? Any type of mic or any type of other peripherals used for your stream?
Yeah, let's see. I actually forgot to plug my my face capture in. Let me do that real quick so I don't run out of battery here. Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but it's the live link, so definitely iPhone 10 or above.
Okay.
remember exactly what that is. My mic is, I think it's an Elgato Wave 3.
Oh, nice. Okay. So you're using
Um,
Elgato.
Yeah, and then I have a Stream Deck for all of my audio nonsense, all that stuff, and a separate little macro pad that I don't remember where I got that. That was just an old reused hardware thing I never replaced.
Okay. All Red wants to know, does it work with subscriber emotes on channels? So
Yeah, it should.
yeah, if he drops a I've got a subscribed emote from, Ninja Gato, it should show up on you?
Yeah, I think it just grabs any emote info from Twitch. So as long as it's Twitch situated, just doesn't work with
Like 17.
like your default emojis. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Okay. And then what is the software required to operate a NoodleCat stream?
In terms of software, obviously Unreal Engine. For modeling and like making all the things, I am unfortunately I sold my soul to Autodesk, so I use Maya. And then OBS for actual streaming and all that stuff. Let's see. And then I guess we can count the Wavelink, which came with the mic for all of the audio things, which is where I struggle the most. But I think that's it in terms of hardware.
Oh, hello, Pixie. There went Pixie. Okay. Very good. Very good. Actually, the Wavelink audio thing is pretty decent, I have to say.
Yeah, I've just been struggling with it because I had to update it, but something it like wiped all my settings. So like to this day I'm having some audio issues. So if I'm peaking or anything, I apologize.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Cool.
Also, I have a compressor, so you're within the bounds.
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Very cool. 2 PC setup. Oh yeah, and then Beppo wanted to know mounted. Like you literally have your PCs mounted to a desk?
I do. Yeah. I moved to a new apartment not too long ago, and my dream for that move was to ditch my old IKEA desk and get like a sit-stand desk.
Oh, nice.
So I have a sit-stand desk, but since, small apartment, I didn't want two machines sitting on top of my desk. So they have like these CPU mounting things that you can just drill into the bottom. Yeah, which sounds and feels precarious sometimes, but they've held up. They've been good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, and you run like 2 monitors or 4 monitors, 3 monitors?
Oh, 2 monitors for sure.
2 monitors. Okay.
I don't think my brain could handle more than that.
Mechanics wants to know, what are the advantages in using Maya instead of Blender? Is it worth paying $200 a month?
Ooh, it's worth it for me since I was trained on Maya. I actually went to school for like modeling, texturing, that sort of thing. So it was just what I was used to. In terms of it being worth it, it depends. It's the sort of thing where if you have one account and maybe sort of don't, but also maybe share that with a couple other people and split the cost, it's worth it. But but yeah, if you're just doing it for yourself, it's even the indie, I think, yeah, $200-300 a month or so. It can be, it's quite a tall ask.
Yeah, but you're right. Like if you can split the cost among some friends and then you use it for work type purposes as well as stream type purposes, 2 for 1 probably pays for itself.
Yeah, for sure.
They have an indie license now that's $300 a year, says Smokescreen. Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I have. I definitely don't do the 200. I thought when I read $200, I thought that meant a year. But yeah, no, not a month. I know, and I think with indie you just have to make less than, is it 100,000 per year what you do? So that's pretty flexible. Yeah, there are some restrictions to it, but I think it has hobbyists and freelancers pretty well covered.
That's good. That's good. Blender is great, but it's very different from paid software. Yes. Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
AI Jorm. I agree with you. Okay. Alright, so first streamer question I'm going to ask you is, what inspired you to start streaming on Twitch?
Honestly, it was a friend of mine who, as strange as it sounds, did a master's thesis on VTubing.
Really?
Yeah, it's very cool. They're another streamer. I'm not sure if I'm cool to shout them out.
Oh,
but,
no, absolutely.
Cool. They are Dyna. Let me see if I can find their Twitch, but haven't streamed in a while. But yeah, did a master's thesis on VTubing, which was very, very cool, which was what introduced me to the concept. I was like, that's neat. I kind of already have a background in the modeling rigging side of things. And I was meaning to learn Unreal Engine for a while at that point. So I figured it gave me a good excuse to dive more into that. And it has certainly paid off. That's kind of what started the whole thing.
Yep. 1 second. I gotta ban a kickbot.
Yeah, no worries.
Ban. There we go. Thank you.
And I will look at Dyna here real quick.
Yeah, if you type in the chat, I can actually shout them out, and we can take a look at this, and then I'll talk about them when you give me the name in chat.
Yeah, here, let's see.
I think
Copy. Paste.
Dyna B2B. Okay,
B2B.
So you know this person IRL.
Yes. Yeah, good friend of mine.
Nice. And they did a thesis on VTubers. What about that thesis inspired you?
It was, I mean, a lot of it was kind of just, I didn't know that VTubing was even a thing. Like, most of my Twitch knowledge at that point was kind of face cam streaming, and I was always kind of against putting my face out there. So I was like, hey, wait a minute. You know, this is kind of something that I have a bit of a knowledge base around already in terms of making my own model and whatnot. And yeah, I could do that. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Exactly.
Yeah. Are you willing to talk about how you or why you have modeling experience or what you went to school for?
Yeah, just I went to school for some animation stuff. It was a very intensive program. And I learned a lot. It was very cool, but it was a very everything and nothing kind of coursework. Of you get to learn very surface level of a lot of different things. So it's like you kind of touch a game engine, but you don't really get too far into it. You kind of model things here and there, very simple rig, and then you don't touch it again.
Okay.
So anything more in depth was like trying to, you were kind of on your own in that sense. So it was a lot of, if you were interested in something, you do it yourself. And for Unreal Engine, that waited till graduation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
so.
a lot of breadth, not a lot of depth. Okay.
Yeah, very generalist sort of workflow there.
Nice. Okay. And do you do that professionally too? Or did you keep up with that?
Yeah, I work in game dev at the moment, which is as far as I'll go in terms of not doxing myself. But
Very cool.
yeah.
Okay, so you have a background in it and you work in it. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that made it easy to leverage making your own model and your own Unreal project. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you share the story behind the first time you hit the go live? How has your approach evolved since then?
It has changed dramatically. Let's see. First time I went live. Oh, is that Starman? Kind of looks like a Starman coat. Yeah, first time I went live, I was playing Elden Ring, for sure, because I was already playing that off stream. I think the first time I went live was really just for testing. I just grabbed a couple friends who I knew would be free at the time and was like, hey, tell me if my audio sucks, or tell me if, if something goes wrong. It was very much not expecting anything, just see if this works. And then I just kind of kept doing it. And now it's kind of become a whole thing, much more, I won't say my life revolves around it, like, for sure, but it's become a more integral part of life in terms of trying to stick with a stream schedule and whatnot. Like, you go to work and then I have this dedicated either stream time or working on the back end time. It's been a very good choice of hobby for me, I think.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Also, how did you know that was Starman before he said hey in the chat?
Because this is one of Starman's favorite coat designs. This is, let's see.
Wait, how many coat designs do you have?
Well, actually, okay, let's see. I think right now there's either 5 or 6, like, coats in terms of, like, tabby, calico. I think I have a spotted, solid, stuff like that. And then layered on top of that, and then there's beaker. On top of that, there's special types, which add little props and whatnot. But then it pulls from a color that I think I stole from Boom a long time ago that has over like 800 entries. So it can be like any color on top of those code types.
Ah, okay. And how did this beaker model come to be evolved into your stream?
I'm pretty sure this was a Starman suggestion too, of just tall tube reminded them of beaker and was like, what would like a beaker special type be? I take a lot of suggestions from chat because I just think far more creative than I am. So then it was just, yeah, I'll take them up on that. And then we got the Wii Remote one as well.
Oh yeah, you're a Wiimote right now. Meep meep. Said mild. That's cool.
Yeah, so lots of weird stuff. Lots of just.
Yeah, you're a cat of many colors.
Yeah, it was just a lot of times if I'm doing a stream and I'm in Maya, it's like someone's just like, "Hey, you look like a Wii Remote. You should do a Wii Remote," and I'm like, "I can do that." We can do that in 2 seconds. Let's do it now. So.
And now you look like one of those barber pole things.
That's exactly what it is.
Cool. Still get thrown through a TV. True. They had to.
I'll try my best.
Had to issue those wrist straps. On the early releases of the Wii, I remember that.
Oh yeah.
That was cool. Oh, now you're a hot dog.
Yeah, now that Starman's here, Starman's gonna show everything off.
He's gonna show everything. He's flexing. Yeah, he's got the channel points to flex on everybody.
Oh yeah, I think Starman has the most channel points on my channel by far.
Well, you look delicious, by the way. You look delicious. Yes, classic. Yep, Starman is saying hello.
Hi, Starman.
Okay. let me ask another question. What were some of your early challenges you faced as a streamer, and how did you overcome them?
Early, I think the biggest challenge I had was being okay with talking to myself. Or feeling like I was talking to myself, especially early on when you don't have as much chat to play off of.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of just find a way to be entertaining regardless. And I mean, you know, people show up, they find you funny, and it just goes from there, you know?
Oh, now you're like a reddish, Cornish Rex maybe? Or like a red tabby?
Yeah.
Red tabby?
Yeah, something's wrong with my color space, I think, because this should just be flat orange, but yeah, it does lean a little red.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I do have to say, when you first start and, you know, the chat is quiet, you have to keep talking. And
Yeah.
in the event that somebody's actually there, and be entertaining, because every once in a while you'll actually fish somebody out and they'll actually respond to you, and you're like, oh crap,
Yeah.
somebody is there. Okay, I'm not just streaming to nothing. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But you've evolved since then, so okay. All right, let's talk about your content and your community. How would you describe your streaming style and the type of content you enjoy creating the most?
Ooh,
Oh, now you are.
that's a good question. Dressed for the interview. Oh, yes. This is actually a reference to another streamer. But we definitely like to keep things chill around here. And I kind of just stream what I want to stream. Like, I don't want to be selfish about it, but at the same time, I think I'm a firm believer of the best kind of content that I can make is the content that I enjoy. So, like, anytime that I felt obligated to stream something, like, it just felt off, right? Like, you're there for 3 hours and it's like, that was all right. So I very much am like, I'll stream anything and nothing, but as long as I am feeling it, right? I have a passion for it. Let's do it, you know? Even if, like, because I've turned all my numbers off in terms of view count, in terms of all that, of like that, you know, having viewers is nice for sure, but like, that doesn't matter as much as me having fun. Because if I'm having fun, then hopefully Chad is having fun as well, you know? Very much that sort of thank you for the love. Very much that sort of vibe around here.
True. Yeah, the content, if it's genuine, then they see that, yeah, it's genuine enjoyability, just seeing you do things you like. I did see you playing like Roller Coaster Tycoon, or was it Roller Coaster Tycoon, or was it the park? Might have been the amusement park version, but I remember you playing that, and I was like, yeah, not a lot of streamers are streaming that, and that's because it's probably a game that's a comfort game for you, I suspect.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, first time, that's actually a really funny thing in terms of that's my most popular kind of stream right now. Of like, people really love, like, I'm not sure if it's the retro thing or like people pop in and are like, I didn't even know people were streaming this sort of thing, but there's a surprisingly large community of people who stream Roller Coaster Tycoon and are really into it. And that's been really fun to meet a lot of those types of people with that shared interest. But yeah, it definitely started that Roller Coaster Tycoon thing with just, hey, I remember this and it's on Steam. I'm going to play it. And next thing I know, it kind of blows up a little bit.
And Starman says naming guests and rides and such.
Oh yeah, we got redeems for that too.
Oh, the redeems. Okay, so that keeps people coming back. Okay.
Yeah, redeems for naming guests, and I'll keep them up in the corner so that we can watch what they're doing, or naming rides, things like that. So yeah, I guess that's a at least for Starman, for sure. Something that
Yeah.
keeps him around.
Now you incorporate your community into your gameplay. Actually, that does sound fun. I'm gonna have to steal that.
Yeah. Do it.
Do it. Yeah, also there's a lot of comfort in the retro and throwback games. And
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people really enjoyed Roller Coaster Tycoon back in the day. And these days, games like that are now gotcha games that aren't fun for anyone anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and what is the outfit that you're saying this is a reference to another streamer? What is this a reference to?
Let me pull that up. Actually, he's live right now. That's crazy. This is Cup as a Cat.
Up as a cat.
Who is a VTuber, sort of. Who is a puppet tuber. So he does like a green screen puppet sort of dealio. We were just talking about retro stuff and streams a lot of retro. So
many cats, yes. Twitch is the internet and Twitch full of cats, I will say.
nice.
Let me shout that person out so we can take a look at him.
Because to me, it means someone
Oh, he
was
is
like,
a puppet cat.
"Oh, hey, that guy's cool.
It's
I want
very
to show my
cool.
friends." And that
That
makes
was
me feel warm
VTubing
and fuzzy
before
inside.
VTubing was VTubing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, interesting. That's cool. That's cool. All right, let me ask you another question. What has been your most memorable and rewarding moment with your Twitch community so far?
Definitely the longer streams for sure. Like, I think the first one I did was like an affiliate anniversary one, which was like
nice.
7 hours. Way longer than what I usually do. But the latest one was like an ad. Thank you for the follow, whoever that is. Yeah, the most recent one was like per sub. I'll do a longer stream. That ended up being a little under 12 hours, which really took it out of me, but was a lot of fun. It was fun to hang out. Starman played a huge role in that one. We played a lot of stuff, like Castle Crashers, Left 4 Dead. That was just kind of I set aside some time and we just hang out with Twitch folks. It was a good time.
Follows make you go RGB? I think so.
Yeah, follows, raids, and subs too, I think.
Very cool. Very cool. So your most memorable moment was a pseudo subathon in which you got up to a 12-hour stream. How long are your normal streams?
Usually I hang out around 2-3 hours. Kind of just depends on how I'm feeling or how much time I have. Unfortunately, the day job can get a lot of overtime-y, so we just kind of make the time when we can. Oh, what was that?
Looks like you got another follow. Or event. Something. Okay. How do you manage to keep your streams fun and engaging for both new and returning viewers? Oh, somebody gifted a sub just to see the RGB. Nice.
I appreciate. Let's see. Keeping things engaging. I've kind of fallen off of it a little bit, but the big thing that I think kept the followers coming in when like those numbers kept going up. I'm in a bit of a slump right now because work is a real bastard right now. But at the time,
Hey, what's
it
up,
was. What's up?
Kiku? Oh, we have a first-time chatter. Kiku.
Oh,
Kiko Manic.
hello. What was I gonna say? Oh, just adding stuff to the project, like taking viewer requests, right? The beaker stuff, things like that. A lot of that stuff came after I started streaming, of just people being like, "Oh, it would be really cool, right? The dump noodle stuff, or oh, we got a spooky ghost type." A lot of this stuff was was just, hey, I'm just gonna mess around in Maya or mess around in Unreal Engine. What do we want to see? But I haven't touched my project in a long time since I just haven't had the time. But the hope is that we'll continue with some dev stuff and get that momentum going again.
I gotcha. So you hook people by incorporating their recommendations to your project and making it part of, something they can engage with in the future. Seems like
That's the hope, yeah.
Yeah, seems like you're a ghost cat right now, so that was probably something that somebody recommended.
Yeah, probably a spooky time recommendation.
My English not very good, but I can write in some listen. Hey, that's okay, Kiko. I'm interviewing NoodleCat Does Things. I'm Ninja Gato. We're both cats that are in Unreal Engine 5, and we have fun. We have fun on Twitch. Hey, what's up, Open My Eyes? Welcome back. This is NoodleCat Does Things, and they are also an Unreal Engine 3D VTuber.
Hello.
With eyes that orbit around.
Oh, yes.
Nice. Oh, now you're a peppermint stick. Delicious.
Oh, nice.
Just
This
in time
one's
for the
very rarely
holidays.
used. Glad to see it.
Nice. All right, let me ask you about your VTuber persona. What inspired you to create a NoodleCat as an impossibly long cat? Is there a story behind the design?
I think it's not a very fun story, but a lot of it came down to technical limitations in terms of like, I really, especially at the time, it's still true now, but especially at the time, I really only had face capture to work with. I didn't have hands. I didn't have like leap motion, anything like that. So I was like, what can we do that is only face? So that was like, love cats. You don't have to have any appendages. Just make it infinitely long. It's perfect. So a little bit of a pragmatic story behind that one, and it just kind of worked out stylistically, and people liked it.
Hey, you don't need hand tracking. Yep.
Yep.
Also, you're infinitely long? That's impressive.
Yeah. I don't even know where I end.
That's cool. That's cool. How did you decide on using Unreal Engine for your VTuber model, and what has been the process of bringing NoodleCat to life in that engine?
Yeah, that was I mean, Unreal was kind of integral to the whole VTubing journey for me, just in terms of it was my excuse to get more into game engines. So very, very foundational for my whole VTubing journey. And there was a second part to that question, and I missed it.
What has been the process of bringing NoodleCat to life in that engine?
That has been it. It was very interesting. If we do socials at some point, I think on Instagram and maybe TikTok, I have some of the early testing phases documented a little bit, which was very fun. I think I was working on the project for a good 2-3 months before I felt comfortable like actually going live. And a lot of that journey was documented in terms of just sending to my friend Dinah and being like, hey, this is cool. Hey, I kind of have it working. Does this look nice? What do you think of this? So it was kind of documented through Discord of just sending things over.
Oh, nice. And now you have a knit scarf.
Yeah, I think the scarf was one of the first things I added. This is a classic Starman as well. The red scarf and the halo.
Nice. Nice. Also, why Unreal? Like, you could have chose like Unity or like.
I think a lot of it was the blueprinting. I was very early in, I like to think at least, I know a lot more code now in terms of like handwriting code, but the blueprinting, I was very familiar with programs like Nuke and like Houdini, very node based. So like just having experience with more node based programs was just, it's kind of a logical step, I guess, instead of having to learn what does Unity even use? That's C++?
No idea. No idea.
I have no idea. But having to learn a whole new program was very daunting. So trying to play to my
C
strengths
sharp.
there a little bit was
C sharp
a
says
C sharp,
Beppo.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, so you had a little bit of a background in Unreal already, so you just built upon that.
Yeah. And I've learned a lot.
Okay. Beppo says, I don't use Unity, but I chat with people who do like. Okay. Like Pee-wee.
Nice.
Okay. What challenges did you face while designing and animating such a unique and unconventional VTuber model?
I think honestly biggest challenge, but most rewarding in terms of outcome was the springbone eyes. Just in terms of, because I knew that I needed that.
Super cool.
I knew I wanted the eyes to bounce around like that. And it turned out to be simple-ish, like just a springbone and the animation blueprint. But in terms of tweaking the settings and, getting it to be able to do that.
Yeah, getting it to be able to orbit your head. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a challenge early on. That and figuring out like blend shapes and whatnot. Like getting the mouth shapes to look right, especially the eyes. Originally I was gonna have them be just flat textures and like morph the textures, but they ended up being separate geo to make it easier to blink and whatnot.
I see. Hello, Avery. Imperial Avery came to stop by. I'll say hello.
Hello.
Let me ask another question. How do viewers react to the impossibly long cat concept? And does it add any fun dynamics or challenges during stream?
I think people like it. I think viewers especially like thinking about the implications
Yeah.
of an impossibly long cat. There's a lot of, because I was never one to make up my own lore. So a lot of the lore came from viewers and whatnot. I think Starman mentioned, yeah, canon length varies. It's a lot of questions of, so like width wise, are you like cat width, or are you like person width, or like wider than that? And it's like, I don't know. Death of the author sort of thing. I don't have any thoughts on it. So it's kind of a community endeavor to try to figure out what's canon. And I'm just like, yeah, sure, that sounds right.
That's cool. That's cool. Do you ever plan to evolve or change the NoodleCat design or introduce other characters?
As of now, I don't have plans to. I know that there was, like, I think someone mentioned dog cat or cat dog. My bad.
Cat dog.
Making a dog version would be like way long-term goal for sure. But yeah, I don't know. Definitely want to focus on figuring this model out. There's still a lot of redeems and whatnot that I want to explore with the cat model for now. So focus on this one and then see how I feel about expanding.
Yep, Starman says there's been a slight update to the model.
Oh, that's true. More with the shading. This kind of dotted shading was I ended up, oh, what did I call it the other day? Last holiday season, I ended up doing like dev streams like every day. And we were doing a lot of reworking of the model and the shaders and whatnot. So that was a result of that. Let's see, current model is a little wider and has, yeah, that's true. Yeah, the dotted shading, and I guess this is a little wider.
Okay.
The model itself didn't change too much, but definitely everything built on top of it is ever changing.
Now, the current meta is adding an AI companion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think there could ever be like a AI companion on your stream?
I think, well, as funny as I think it would be to just duplicate my model and have that be AI driven, that was actually an idea. Was I talking to Fruitsy about it?
Speak of the devil. Fruitsy
Oh my
just showed
god.
up.
Right there. There were loose ideas of just handing off like this project and like doing collab streams of just having two noodles, right? Like a Fruitsy version of a noodle, or you know, whoever I'm streaming with. Like just hand off that project as long as they have the face tracking capabilities to just hand that off and kind of just do double noodle stream.
Oh,
But that's what came to mind when you mentioned AI stuff. It's like that could be an idea. You're onto something.
Okay, so a guest, you were thinking in the future, a guest collab could be a noodle version of said guest and be noodles with you, so we could be part of the same noodle soup together.
Yes, which would be, I think, very funny.
Yeah, you could
if for no other reason than just double noodle.
Yeah, I think a boom noodle would look pretty cool. Like,
Ooh, wait.
Like
Do I have that working? I know I had a special type somewhere. Let's see if somebody beats me to it.
Stand by, says Starman.
Stand by. Starman, you got it? I'll let you do it.
I mean, technically...
You're faster than I am.
Technically, you already have... Hey, there's a boom noodle with the lights.
There we go.
And technically, you already have a Ninjago noodle, because you just have to be an orange tabby.
Oh, that's true.
That's true. Yeah, friend of the show noodle. Yeah, we as a team need to figure out some more collabs. I know Dead Sun was talking about doing like a almost like an MST3K Mystery Science 3000 style collab in his new project that he's making, and that cool mansion thing that he's making. We gotta work on something.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah, we gotta work on something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But we all are so very busy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, okay. Yeah. And then I'm using Code Miko's AI companion, which is pretty convenient. You can, in her Mikoverse project, you can load in a VRM. And as long as it's got a humanoid skeleton, that VRM can come into that project, and then you give it a background and a voice, and it works. So
wow,
that's been fun.
Impressive.
That's been fun.
Yeah.
I do want to incorporate it into my project though, because like I still want to go down that route. Because one, it's faster, and maybe I can make its voice sound better. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, that's on my roadmap, but that's a long ways from now because I hardly ever get to dev.
Oh yeah, it's hard to make the time.
All right, so let's talk about Unreal Engine and tech. What's your workflow like when it comes to updating or improving your VTuber model in Unreal?
Before Let's see, when did I start? In the early days, it was just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. It was very much just like a playground. Just trying things, not really worrying about optimization or anything like that. Just see what I can do. See, like, just how we can get it implemented. But especially lately, I've been working on, well, I guess this was when 5.4 had just come out. Because I'm working in 5.3 at the moment. But when 5.4 came out, I was like, I want to redo the project because I know there are a lot of ways that I can make it more optimized, a little less. Thank you for the follow. A little less just used Unreal Engine for 6 months. There's a lot that I've learned in this whole process of trying to get this VTuber to work. So I figured instead of going back and tweaking a shaky foundation, just start from scratch. So, which has been interesting, has introduced its own challenges, but still quite rewarding, honestly, to just find a better way to do these things.
Yeah, my project is so big, that's terrifying to think about starting over.
Yes.
Yeah, like there's too much that's incorporated.
Yeah, and even though my project is relatively small, like I'm still feeling the
That's overwhelming.
it's daunting. That's for sure.
Okay. But your workflow generally has just been chatter recommendations and just throwing it against the wall and making it stick.
Yeah. It will stick. I will make it stick.
That's right. Use duct tape. Do whatever you gotta do. Are there any specific features of Unreal Engine that you find particularly useful or important for VTubing?
Definitely the live link stuff has been amazing, and I learned about that when I was back in school.
Oh wow.
I did a little bit of like motion capture focus stuff, like independent study kind of things.
Cool.
So that's where I learned a lot of there was like optical mocap stuff like that. But that's where I first learned about live link and kind of this, I don't want to say bargain bin motion capture because it's still quite good. But the kind where you don't need several tens of thousands of dollars. And just having that be pretty plug and play with Unreal Engine, that was also a big thing that pushed me a bit away from Unity and more toward Unreal, of just you plug in whatever IP's there and it's just done. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Well, that and the Twitch integration too.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
Whatever plugin, what is that called?
Twyworks.
Twyworks? Yeah, that was pretty. When I found out that was there, and I found that out at one of my freelance jobs. Somebody was messing with it, of trying to make a game of like you enter in chat like up, down, left, right, and it would move a character around. I was like, that is cool as shit. I was like, you know what, we can do that. We can do something with that. So yeah, face tracking, Twyworks, all that stuff. Very cool.
Okay, very cool. How do you balance the technical aspects of using Unreal Engine while also keeping your streams engaging and fun for your audience?
In terms of dev streams, I do find that can be a struggle. I know that some people who watch are, because I do stream across the board in terms of Roller Coaster Tycoon and just a bunch of random shit. So I know that not everybody is here for the dev stuff. So having to make that interesting is, I very much rely on the redeems and being like, hey, who wants to test things out? Or hey, who has an idea of what we can implement here, right? It can be a struggle to try to keep that engaging, especially when I'm in blueprint mode and like in hardcore coding mode and just trying to figure stuff out. It's like, I'm sure I'm speaking absolute French to some people here, and I just hope I'm being funny enough about it.
True. Yeah, dev streams. Yeah, I don't. Boom does a good job of keeping dev streams interesting, but I feel like I struggle with that. I struggle with that a lot.
Yeah, I feel like I very much rely on just the chill vibes and hopefully having enough people in chat to just keep up a conversation while I'm doing dev stuff, right? As long as we're talking about something a bit interesting, the hope is to keep people around.
All right. And then, what advice would you give to other creators looking to use Unreal Engine to create their own VTube model?
That is such a good question. Honestly, it's biggest piece of advice, I think, would be I would probably say start small. Start small and make sure you have a good foundation. Don't do what I did in terms of, I have 2 minutes of Unreal experience and we're just going to make a whole project and work from, just keep going with, what might not be the best foundation, because then you start building on top of that. And, you're just using duct tape to try to patch holes that have been there since the very beginning. I would recommend either, I don't think LinkedIn Learning is free, but definitely some sort of course or even just general YouTube videos of trying to figure out what you're doing first instead of just diving right into Engine.
Okay, so do a little bit of research, learn, do some type of curriculum to where you feel confident enough in Unreal before you start your own VTuber project. Okay. Right.
Like, as much as I had fun with the way that I did it, I am reaping what I sowed. Should I say? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because you were saying that you look at your project now and you're like, it's so unoptimized, which is,
yeah, exactly.
I think something a lot of us creators go through. It's like we grow and then we look at stuff in hindsight and we're like, oh my god, why did I do it this way? Because that's the only way you knew. That's the only way you knew, and you're like, okay, I can make this a lot better.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, thank you for the hydrate, Super El Succo. Got some tea right here. Thank you.
Ooh, what kind?
Chai. Some chai.
Nice.
Oh yeah, you could do a I did see a couple hydrate redeems on other streams, and I was like, I should do that. Like where a huge spout of water just sprays in the creator's face. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I don't have anything special for my hydrate or posture check either. I feel like I should do that. It'd be fun.
Fruitsy says, Udemy has sales pretty often. A lot of the library cards give you free access to LinkedIn Learning. Humble Bundle also gives courses sometimes. Yeah.
Very good. And I think Fruitsy was saying that they were doing an Unreal course. I don't remember if it's Udemy or something else, but yeah, I would definitely recommend one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, I was doing like there's a creator on YouTube called Gorka Games. That creator has like a whole playlist going through making a game. And I made it about 3/4 of the way through till I felt comfortable enough to start Unreal. And that's when I started streaming.
Yeah, that's definitely the way to do it.
Yeah, I should have completed the course in hindsight, but I can always go back.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so I did go into your streaming, and I looked at some of your longest played games. So I wanted, you are a gamer as well, you know, so I want to talk to you about gamer stuff.
Sure.
I noticed you played Elden Ring. Elden Ring has gained a massive following for its challenging gameplay. What drew you to it, and how was your experience navigating the lands between?
Yeah, I started playing it. I didn't have a whole lot of experience with the Soulsborne series, but I did thoroughly enjoy my time with Bloodborne. I played a bit of Bloodborne. I think maybe I got a third of the way through. I didn't finish, but I had a very good time with what I did play and what I did encounter. And then when they obviously released Elden Ring, I was like, we gotta do this.
Bloodborne, hey Mega Mocap, how are you?
I'm Mega Mocap. Yeah, so, and then when I started playing off stream, and I was like, this is like all the problems that I did have with Bloodborne. I was like, this is like, this kind of solves everything. Perfectly my kind of game. So then it became a top choice of what I would stream when I started streaming. Because I was still very early game at that point. And then I did. I had a great time. It was a very fun game to stream. I think I even had one or two people in chat hop in with like a co-op thing, which was really cool.
Oh, nice. Community style.
Yeah, it happened once or twice, but it definitely helped with a difficult boss or two. Yeah, that was also a very fun way to keep folks engaged at the time of like leaving that door open.
Gotcha. Did you do the DLC?
Oh, I did not. Unfortunately, I started New Game Plus. And I'm still very early in New Game Plus, and from what I understand, you kind of have to get pretty far in the game in order to start DLC. So I just haven't gone back to it, but I want to.
DLC has a mixed review, and I agree with
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's definitely mixed.
Gotcha.
It goes to they really did want to make the player, like, even if you had like a max level character, they wanted you to feel like you're starting over again. And they succeeded in that mission. But
yeah, I can see how that would turn some folks off to it though.
Yeah, but they also did some like dirty tricks to do that. Like input reading for sure was in there. There's some high RNG on some fights, which just feels like playing a slot machine at that point.
Yeah, for sure.
So I had a mixed time with it. So
Gotcha. That's good to know going in.
Yeah, like, okay. Did you have a favorite boss fight in Elden Ring? Or one that gave you a lot of trouble?
I know Elden Beast. I have a clip somewhere of my final attempt, but I think that was 3 streams worth of just over and over again.
Just
trying to go at him. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it once I got the patterns down and everything, that was kind of the first time I mean, it's so funny to have gone through the whole game and having the Elden Beast be the one where I was like, this is the first time I actually was like, let's pay attention to these to these patterns and figure out what I need to do. But I did shoot myself in the foot a little bit just throughout the whole game in terms of I wanted to do I had the claws for most of the game. And just doing short range melee and just sticking with that was what I discovered to be an interesting choice.
Gotcha.
Among other people that I know who played it, who like kind of did like a melee magic sort of build, or you know, something to make it something to give you a little bit more range than my very fast but very short range claws. So we made it, but wasn't easy.
I gotcha. Did you have a favorite fight?
Favorite fight? I really enjoyed the look of, oh my gosh, is it Millennia? That's her name, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I was gonna say there's a couple whose names trip me up, but I really enjoyed the look of her fight. I actually limited myself for that one though, of trying 50 times by myself, and then I was gonna do co-op. I was like, I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna fully like kill myself over this one. So.
Yeah, she taunts people. That's like one of the hardest fights. Like.
Oh yeah. It was really pretty though. Like her design, I know it's. I don't want to say unfair, but those are rookie numbers. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I threw myself at Elden Beast over and over again. I'm like, I'm not going to spend multiple streams on this. I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, FromSoft games are known for their cryptic lore. Did you dive into the story of Elden Ring? If so, what part of the lore fascinated you the most?
That's a funny question too, because when I first started, I was like, we're actually going to pay attention to the lore this time. We're actually going to like, because I know they are cryptic about it. They are like, it's kind of its own kind of puzzle if you're into that sort of thing. And then I started streaming and was just like, I'm here for the gameplay. I'm here to beat things up. So, yeah, lore, not even. Yeah, exactly.
True.
That's the vibe. So now that I guess DLC has its own lore, so I don't know anything about that. But base game lore, I kind of know from after the fact what was kind of going on, but not really. I'm not a huge lore person, I guess.
Yeah, I'm orange. I don't have the mental capacity to dive into lore and try to dissect it. Try to understand
for sure.
it. Like, nope.
I feel that.
Yep. All right. I also saw you played quite a bit of Lethal Company.
Yes.
So let's talk about Lethal Company. Lethal Company is known for chaotic multiplayer. What have been your funniest or most intense moments playing the game?
Funniest moment for sure was my first time playing.
Okay.
And that was with Dinah and a friend of Dinah's whose username is totally escaping me right now, but I have a clip of this moment too somewhere. Where I guess at the very end, like if you don't have enough, I don't even remember the circumstances, but like at the very end of the thing where you're supposed to put all the things you collected, you're supposed to give it to, I don't know, whoever takes it. Apparently you can sacrifice a player for that. And I was the one who was deemed to be sacrificed. So somebody killed me and just put me up on the table. And I was like, yes, this is perfect. This is amazing. I love this. Let me see if I can find that clip. That was a good time.
Very cool. Very cool. How do you approach the teamwork aspect of Lethal Company? Do you prefer being a leader or just causing mischief among your teammates? How do you play?
I'm definitely a chaotic neutral kind of player. I will go off on my own if I just feel like it, especially on stream. I very much follow the philosophy of do it for the content.
Do it for the content. Oof. Oof.
So when you're trying to cooperate with other people, doesn't always lead to optimal outcomes, but you do it for the content because it's funny. Yeah, so Lethal Company is the kind of game that I would want to play with friends who will not hate me after. People who, even if I do, fuck around and find out, they'll still be friends with me afterward.
True. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Lethal Company, but that's because, one, I want to succeed, and then two, I'm not very good, but everyone's trying to explain to me that, like, no one's good at Lethal Company. It's just chaos, which I'm just like, no.
Yeah, that's fair. I do feel that too, but I'm here for the chaos.
What do you think sets Lethal Company apart from other multiplayer games?
I think, well, from what I remember, it's not very resource intensive. Like, I think just in terms of accessibility, like, yeah. I know that you can, like, throw a bunch of mods on it and go crazy, but I'm pretty sure base game, like, doesn't have very high, like, it doesn't have a very high bar in terms of, like, computing power and whatnot. So yeah. I definitely feel like that played into its virality, like, its popularity. Mm-hmm. And I guess just leaning on the chaos, leaning on just that and the big modding community as well. I think that helped big time.
What's up, Koji? How are you?
Hello.
Yes, I'm interviewing NoodleCat. Those things, Koji. And they are in their beaker outfit.
Yes.
So if you want to check out their channel, Koji, they are also an Unreal Engine and have interactivities built into their channel, so you can go to their chat and do stuff. The eyes, yes. Yes, the eyes are fun. They even orbit. Alright, I also saw you play Helldivers.
I do.
Helldivers co-op nature can lead to some chaotic moments. Do you have any memorable stories from a mission that went horribly wrong or surprisingly well?
I think, well, because head pats, thank you. What's funny about Helldivers is it's the sort of game that I have a lot of, and I've tried, but I have a lot of trouble playing by myself or playing with strangers. So when I play, it was always with Fruitsy and or Dead Sun, usually both, which was a very good time. We're all very different kinds of players. So it's...
Thank you for the pets, Koji.
Oh, yes. So it was very fun in terms of just dynamic-wise. We're all very different, and I was always kind of the one who... I think I played the least out of everybody, so a lot of this stuff was very new to me. I think the most memorable mission that we had was the first time... Are they called bile giants? The first time we encountered those really big alien ones. I just remember looking at it and being like, we are fucked. We are screwed. And then we ended up like taking it down, which was really cool.
Nice.
But I was like, oh God, no. That was like whatever that first time we were on that difficulty where those guys spawned. I was like, there is no way anybody survives this thing. And then I think later on in that mission, like just before extraction, they like throw 3 of them at you or something, like something crazy. And I was like, oh no. That was a very good time though. That was a good time. I miss those streams. But everyone gets so busy, you know?
Hey, you're back to being a calico.
We are back.
Yeah, Dead Sun. I've watched enough Dead Sun to know that he's definitely like, all right, I'm squad leader. We're doing stuff.
Oh yeah.
You go. And Ritzy is like, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm the same way.
Yep. Helldivers emphasizes teamwork and friendly fire. How do you handle the balance between strategy and avoiding accidents during gameplay? Hey, what's up, DJ Dirty Skeet?
Hello. That's actually really funny because I'm really bad with friendly fire.
Oh.
I think there was. I should say I was really bad about it. There was one type, and the name is lost on me now. But there was one type of weapon that was like, it's like the electric one. So the electricity like bounces between things, which means it hits people a lot. So I think there was a time when I just didn't realize that it bounced like that. And like people were taking damage, and I was like, oh shit. My bad. Uh-oh.
Sorry, Dead Sun. Sorry.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, yeah, I was pretty bad about that, but that and any kind of explosive, I tend to be bad in terms of timing of, oh, somebody's there now. My bad. It just killed you.
Oh.
Oops. But yeah. God, I want to play Helldivers again now that we're talking about it.
Oh, nice. Well, what do you enjoy most about the tactical elements of Helldivers, and what role do you usually play in your team?
Well, as we were just saying, when you're playing with Dead Sun, it's like you just follow Dead Sun. But I try my best. I am usually a samples collector. At least I try my best to. And or just any other sort of collectibles.
Nice.
So I'm a little less of a rootin' tootin' ready for shooting. I'll try my best, but oddly enough, I find some of the other elements of it really engaging too. Of the collecting bits and some of the, I don't want to say puzzles, but like the Zelda doors where you need the 2 people, that sort of thing, and kind of a divide and conquer sort of way where Dead Sun will do the, like, take the brunt of the damage and all that, and you know, we'll just do everything else on the side.
I gotcha. Okay. And then I also saw you have significant hours in Stardew Valley, so I thought about asking you some Stardew Valley questions. Stardew Valley offers a relaxing escape from more intense games. What's your favorite aspect of the game? Farming, mining, fishing, or relationships?
I'm definitely a cave dweller in Stardew and its other clones that I've gotten into. But it's that, and especially with Stardew as well, I'm big on multiplayer. Stardew is also the kind of game that I don't necessarily like. I feel some people get really, really into like single player and like they're super invested in it, but I really enjoy the multiplayer. I have a lot more fun playing with friends and doing the cooperative stuff. So, you know, going in the mines together with real people, you know, that's always really fun for me. And I'm not a big fishing mini game person. I know that might be sacrilege, but I think fishing might be my least favorite.
Starman says we still gotta do a multi-farm.
We do. I've been meaning to do more of like more of a streaming focused one. I started a couple with personal friends, the multiplayer things, but I want to start with streaming friends. Start a little multi-farm with a. Keep forgetting about it.
I got you. And how would you describe Cave Dweller to somebody who's never played Stardew?
That's just going in the mines, just hacking away at just trying to get to lower levels. A good portion of my multiplayer, especially if I have someone else who's really invested in the farming and watering like everything, like I will wake up in game and book it to the mines and spend all day either just collecting shit or fighting monsters or whatever, and then you either pass out there or you go back, go to sleep and do it all over again. I'll spend many in-game weeks just doing that.
Okay. All right, my next Stardew question is, how did you design your farm? And do you prioritize aesthetics or efficiency when building it?
Definitely lean efficiency, but again, it's also the sort of thing where I tend to leave that to other people if I'm playing with friends. So, you know, I book it to the mining and they make it pretty, right? If I'm playing by myself, it's like it's very bare bones, it's not pretty at all. But it gets the job done. So, oddly enough, the farming simulator type game, farming is not the most engaging part to me. I yearn for the mines.
Okay. And do you have any funny or memorable stories involving Stardew Valley's NPCs or events?
Well, what's funny about it, I think, is I've played a lot of Stardew Valley, but very, very few times have I gotten past year one. Like a lot of times it's either starting a thing by myself and falling off, or starting with other people and then everyone gets busy and it's hard to organize and then that falls off. So it's like, it's funny that I'm sure in terms of like Steam hours, it looks like there's a lot there. But in terms of actual game content, like I've seen the egg hunt. I'm not even sure I know what happens in the summer. Like so it's sort of funny that way. I think egg hunt is funny in and of itself because when I do play with other people, it's usually people who have done single player for a long time, so they know where all the stuff is. So they have like 800 eggs, and I'm like, I found 2. So, yeah, some fun times, and then when you're playing multiplayer, a lot of the fun just comes with farting around with friends. So, yeah.
Okay, very cool. And then, of course, Roller Coaster Tycoon was up there in hours for you.
Oh, yes.
Roller Coaster Tycoon is such a nostalgic game for many. What is your favorite part of building and managing your own theme park?
Favorite part, for sure, is just building long nonsense coasters. Like there was a point where I was playing once a week and streaming it once a week, and I don't want to say mindless, but it became almost like a trance sort of thing. There have been a couple times on stream where I'm like, I just built this coaster and it's done. I don't remember building it.
Wow.
Like we fully built this whole thing and it works and it looks good. It has good stats. I don't know. I don't know if it's just you get into the streaming and you're talking and like the actual building, like you do it so much it like gets away from you, but yeah.
Starman says, I like the mazes that are just 4 left turns. Okay.
Oh yes. If I just need, I think maybe once or twice I've actually gotten into, because it's like a whole different thing building like the little hedge mazes. But if you just need one more attraction, you just make a single placement thing, and it's just a small little maze.
Chibi Dango wants to know, would you consider making your avatar more 3D?
I actually have considered doing like a quote unquote like realistic mode with like more with like less cell shaded look. I don't know if that necessarily means fur or like what exactly that means, but I have thought about messing with styles a little bit. There was also a interesting voxel tutorial that I saw of like kind of doing like a cubey look, like just having that be like a redeem or something. Again, my focus is on rebuilding my project at the moment and making sure the foundation is figured out, but I do have some fun like style ideas in the future. Well, we'll see where that goes for sure.
I gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, don't. Also, you gotta stay true to your brand. You're Noodle. Infinitely
That's
long.
true.
Yeah.
But even this dotted shading caused a bit of controversy of like not having like a fully cell shaded look. Like that was enough for some viewers to be like, I don't like that. Could be noodlier. That's fair.
Yeah, maybe they can make you into like a curly ramen noodle or something.
That would be sick.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Do you have a super thin noodle mode? Oh yeah, you could be like a fettuccine or a linguine.
Well, they just
Turned you
somebody's
into
showing off my ramen
your ramen.
mode. But I do have scale things you can change size. So like kind of not specific to a type of pasta, but I do have thin, short, things like that.
Or like that. What's it called? Beach.io where noodles snake around? I don't know. I don't know.
I think Dead Sun had a fun idea of just remaking Snake, but have it be NoodleCat. And I was like, that could be fun.
All right.
Was it you, Starman? I'm sorry. It's always Starman.
It's always
Sorry,
Starman.
continue.
He's got the channel points. Okay, let's talk more about Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yes.
Do you lean more towards building efficient parks or creating wild, chaotic roller coasters to see what happens?
Definitely big on, definitely big on making coasters that are as long as I can, like, imagine. I definitely lean more efficient than like aesthetics. There's actually a funny moment where there was one park, and I'm blanking on the name, but there was one park that already had a lot of like flowers and a lot of like aesthetics already built in. And there was like this really cute little animation that I had never seen before of the guests like taking pictures of the scenery, and like the thought bubble that came with it was like, the scenery is really nice. And I was like, that's so funny that I've never seen that before, because I just never cared to make a park that looks pretty. But yeah, I definitely love me some coasters. There are a couple efficient, I'm not sure they're necessarily speed running strats, but there are a couple like what they call micro coaster designs that definitely boost efficiency and just like have decent stats. You build it in 2 seconds and you can charge X amount, and it's like a good stable moneymaker, especially when you're first starting out a park. Yeah.
All right, and then let me ask you, do you have a favorite ride or park design that you're particularly proud of from your time playing Roller Coaster Tycoon?
I'm definitely biased toward the coasters, and very specifically the Steel Twister. It just has a lot of fun. Yeah, it just has a lot of fun pieces. Let me see if I can. I don't think I have a clip of it, of where I'm building one. But it has a lot of like inversion pieces, a lot of upside downs, a lot of corkscrews, and then I think that's the one that also has the very large inverted loop, which is always fun to try to get working.
I gotcha.
But
how would you explain a steel loop coaster to somebody that's never played Roller Coaster Tycoon?
yeah, let's see. That's such a good question, because from what I understand, Chris Sawyer, I think is his name, the guy who actually made the game, like did a lot of research into different coaster types. So they're all named after real life coaster types. But Steel Twister, definitely made of steel. Should be obvious, but yeah, lots of inversions, lots of going upside down, and a lot of banked turns. What's interesting about it though is I tend to go overboard with the inversions, but I think there's some sort of stat thing where if you have too many, then it like tanks your stats. So there are a couple times where I have to go in and rebuild some parts because I'm like, oh, we're going upside down too many times. We can't do that.
I gotcha. Starman says, by any chance, that the type of coaster we'd like to name Tangled Ass Mess?
It probably was. I don't remember if that's... I know what clip you're referencing, but we do tend to call the Steel Twisters the Tangled Ass Mess, because I tend to make them tangled ass messes.
Okay, good. All right, let's talk general gaming.
All right.
Of all the games you stream, which one had the most surprising reaction from your audience?
Definitely Roller Coaster Tycoon. I think we touched on it a little bit, but there is I'm now on a Discord server, a community of people who stream Roller Coaster Tycoon or are really into it, and it's a surprisingly large community. A lot of them also do like real life meetups.
Oh, really?
Where they do, I don't remember where they went last, but they'll do like real life meetups and they'll go to real amusement parks and ride all the coasters and stuff, which is, I think, doubly funny for me, only in that I myself hate riding roller coasters.
Interesting.
I love building them, but I'm a big I get motion sick very easily. So actually riding them isn't my thing, but building them, I can do that. I can do that all day.
Oh, gotta ban another kickbot. 1 second here.
All good?
There we go. Banned. All right. If you could live in any of the gaming worlds from the games you played, which one would it be and why?
Let's see. My first thought is Elden Ring, but specifically in like a peaceful mode. Like, not that I would want to like fight all these people all the time, but I very much enjoyed the the aesthetics, the vastness. Like there's I know that there's like a mod for like photo mode, which I've actually been looking into like getting just because it's a gorgeous game. And just purely, I guess maybe not necessarily live in that world, but definitely like would take a guided tour through that. Like that would be amazing to actually see. Or like even if there were like a VR port or something, like just to plot myself in that world and just be able to like look around in first person. Like gorgeous, amazing. I'd love that.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, that world scares me.
Yes. No, for sure. Definitely photo mode.
What's the most challenging game you've played on stream, and how did you get through those tough moments?
I had a lot of trouble with Elden Ring here and there. But honestly, the most frustrating experience I had, like even though I fought Elden Beast over and over again, like I had a great time doing it, believe it or not. Like every single time I was like, all right, let's do it again, let's go. But in terms of like frustration level, oddly enough, certain Roller Coaster Tycoon scenarios really drove me up a wall. Certain ones are like, well, here's the problem too, is the ones that I found to be most frustrating, I did to myself. Because there's a certain type of scenario where it's like you have a couple, like 5 different roller coasters that are kind of pre-built but not fully made. And then your goal is to finish them and have them meet a certain stat like requirement or something, which is pretty easy and fine if you play normally, but the most frustrating times that I've had are when you kind of play that on hard mode, where you try to do that but you don't open your park, so you only have your base money to work with, which is a really fun challenge. I've done it a couple times. Oof. But there were a couple times where I'm deleting paths just to get the $10 extra to finish a coaster. So yeah, very rewarding when it works out, but there were a couple times where I'm like, nah, we're opening this park, we can't do this. I'm not doing this again.
I gotcha. And then Roller Coaster Tycoon, that was a game that was written in what language? I forgot.
That was assembly, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's like fully in hex or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, so that made its accessibility very much accessible for a lot of people. I think it was like,
oh yeah,
it was pretty impressive. Okay, cool. All right, let's talk about collabs in the future.
Sure.
Your future goals. What has been your experience collaborating with other streamers, and what do you look for in potential collabs?
So far my collab experiences have been very good. I do, or at least when everyone had the availability, I did a lot of Dead Sun and Fruitsy collabs with Helldivers and whatnot. I've done quite a few with Dinah just because we already know each other. But yeah, it's I enjoy collabs. I feel like I need to do more of them. In terms of I feel like that's a really good way to spice up the content for me, but also I think it's good for reach for them numbers, you know? So
Yep.
Yeah, but go ahead, sorry.
It was actually during Fruitsy's interview that Fruitsy was like, you absolutely need to interview NoodleCat. Is it like it actually, these collabs, introduce each other, introduce our communities. They help us both grow. Yep. Agree with
Right,
that.
exactly. Beneficial for everybody.
Yeah, and also we're teammates, so we should be friendly. Yeah. Okay. What are the long-term goals for your Twitch channel, and how do you plan to achieve them?
It's funny because that is a question that I haven't posed to myself until very recently. I was very much a flying by the seat of my pants kind of streamer for a long time. Just like, I'm doing it now and we're having a good time. We're just gonna roll with it for as long as I can. But kind of lately it's like, oh, yeah, like I've been doing this for like, how long? 2.5 years? And it's like, let's see. There have been a lot of like, what is the future of NoodleCat? It's a question that I ask myself, and I don't necessarily have an answer right now. A lot of it is, I want to lean more dev stuff. I want to lean more. I'm not sure.
No, that's okay.
It's a very good question.
No, that's okay, because some people don't know. I've had people that are like, I've already achieved my goal. I had some that were like, I just wanted to stream for me and my friends, my streamer friends, and they've had like as few as 5 viewers, and they're like, nope, that's exactly what I wanted, and I peaked, and I just, I stream for fun, and then, I have some people in the past who are like, I want to be, a big time streamer in the future. So it varies all over the place, and then some people are like, I don't know, it's whatever the fuck I want it to be. That changes day to day. So
I definitely could see like a little more growth, but I'm not sure I'd want to make it big time. Like, I think having too many people in chat would scare me, but I've certainly achieved the goal of learning Unreal Engine and trying to figure that out. So
MEOW says he streams for anger.
Nice. I stream out of spite.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, NoodleCat is great at UE. Cool.
I try my best.
Nice. I'm terrible, by the way.
I'm sure we're all.
We all start somewhere.
We're good.
Yeah, we all start somewhere. Yep, and none of us
That's
think
true.
we're good. Like not even Boom thinks Boom's good at Unreal, and we're like, bruh.
Boom's a god.
Like you're almost god tier. What do you think? What has been your experience collaborating? Nope, I already asked you that. Oh, oops, wrong question. What are your nope? Asked you that one. Yep, we are on personal interests and unique elements. Do you have any passions or hobbies outside of streaming that influence your content?
Honestly, the streaming and the dev stuff have kind of taken up a ton of my hobby time. A lot of my stream time. This is kind of like the main thing I do outside of work. But in case it wasn't obvious, I have 2 cats of my own who I draw a lot of inspiration from.
Nice.
So I don't know if being a cat owner counts as a hobby, but
it obviously influenced you. What type of cats you got, and what are their names?
I have 2 cats. I have a fully black cat named Olive. She's a baby. She's so sweet. And then I have a tortie named Martha, who knows too much and is a bit of a bastard, but we love them both.
Yeah, torties have fortitude. Like
They do.
I don't understand what it is about that breed, but they all have fortitude.
Absolutely. No, I agree. She's very good at the vet, though, so I will take that.
A baby or the littlest baby? Asks MEOW.
definitely the littlest baby. She is very small, and she's so good. Oh, there's a tortie.
I got you. Is there any unique aspects of your persona or streaming setup that you think sets you apart from others on Twitch?
I like to think that the infinitely long cat idea is unique enough to kind of stand on its own.
Yep.
But other than that, it's a lot of what I do has been learning from other people, learning from Fruitsy, learning from Dead Sun, learning from Boom, learning from everybody in this team. So I don't necessarily want to say it's derivative, but I guess we all, what's the saying I'm thinking of?
We all
Like all boats rise sort of thing.
or draw
We all learn from each other. Yeah.
Yeah, and Chibi's saying, yeah, your noodle concept is definitely unique enough. Yep. Now
And we are getting wider. Who's doing this?
Literally getting wider. Very cool. Very cool. Also, I've never seen anyone be able to put their emotes, somebody else's emotes on their character. I think
really?
Yeah, that's pretty neat. I like it. I
learned that one from Fruitsy, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think so. Yeah, it's weird because I'm so wide, it's distracting. But there's the default way that Twyworks does it. I think it grabs like the least or like the lowest res version of it. So there's some weird workaround where you have to grab high res. Oh gosh.
You've taken over.
Yes.
You've gone infinitely big.
Let me go find who's responsible.
You're infinitely.
Starman. This will go away eventually.
Now you're in. Now it just looks like I'm in front of a Barbasol.
Hold on, can I? No, I can't. I can't bend down. Never mind.
That's hilarious. Well, let me ask you this question. How do you balance interacting with chat while focusing on your gameplay or content creation?
I think as with all streamers, that can be a difficult balance. It's especially when you have this sort of thing, and in the corner of my eye, I just see, you just can't see the game at all.
Yep.
But honestly, at least for now, when I have the kind of audience that I have now, I definitely favor the interaction. Like, I would definitely allow, or I would prefer allowing, like, viewers to do this because they think it's fun over, like, getting perfect footage of whatever I'm playing or something. So I'm sure if the audience gets like crazy big, there will have to be some sort of limitations right now, but at the moment it's just have fun with it. Part of the appeal, I guess.
Yeah, viewers enjoy chaos and they love causing chaos, so
yes, they do. We give them the freedom to do it.
Go with it
at our to our downfall.
Yeah, but also, like, the only time that I've ever seen chat that wants to focus on the gameplay is when they're watching like a top tier competitor at some type of game, and
yeah,
I may be one of the best gamer cats there is, but I am not a top tier gamer, especially because I don't have thumbs. So
yeah, not me either. I don't got paws. I don't got nothing.
So you just like use your noodleness to push buttons?
Yeah, telepathy, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought about it.
Like shape your body in a way that allows you to push buttons.
Yeah. We're back.
There you go. All right, and then this is a very common question, but I always enjoy Update the wiki. True. Make a mocap. Uh, this is a question that we ask a lot of streamers, but I'm always excited to hear what people have to say. What's one piece of advice you would give to someone who's thinking about starting a Twitch channel?
For me, it's very much. I think my biggest piece of advice, especially if I were to go back and like give myself this piece of advice, would very much be don't worry about the numbers. Especially when you're just starting, those numbers are going to be low, and that's just going to be what it's going to be for a while. And especially, and even now, I have all the viewer numbers turned off because there was a point where I was kind of like obsessing over them, like in a really unhealthy way, and like setting like super restrictive rules about how I felt like my streaming should be. Like I'm sure this works for a lot of people, like setting these rules up, and I guess there's no right way to do it, but like for me that would like really stress me out of like my streams have to be 3+ hours, or they have to be on these certain days, or I have to play this day. I found that my relationship with streaming has gotten a lot better after I kind of threw those away. Like, I want to stream what I want, when I want, and for as long as I want. Like, not to say it's all about me. Like, obviously, there's, you want to take viewers into account, of course, but it's like, but like we were saying before, if I'm not having fun, then I don't think anyone's having fun, So I think my biggest piece of advice would be like, don't feel like you have to do any of that. Like, if you just want to stream like once a week for like an hour, like do it. That's like, don't worry about how that's going to impact the numbers or anything like that. Like, if you want to go big time, obviously you kind of have to consider that sort of thing. But especially like hobbyists and stuff, like for me, like that's not a huge priority for me. If I get growth, I get growth. But if not, I'm here doing interview stuff because I think that's fun, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully it's fun for other people. So, yeah, definitely. You want to be a little selfish about it, because then hopefully that's to the benefit of the whole stream and to everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. If I may summarize, I think you're saying prioritize fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very, very good summarization of my tangent.
Yeah. Prioritize fun. Don't pay attention to the numbers. Don't pay attention to the metas. Just do what's fun. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hours streaming.
At least for me.
Streaming. Yeah. Okay. That's good advice. That's good. Awesome. All right. Gatos and Noodleheads. Gatos and Noodleheads in the chat. Now it's your guys' turn. Do you have any questions for this impossibly long cat? And I will ask you the filler question while they type up their questions. If you could have a superpower, what would that superpower be?
My first thought is teleportation, for sure. But that's mostly because I love the idea of travel, but the actual traveling, I do not like. Like airports, airplanes, any other, like even driving. Like if I could just teleport to work, or if I could just teleport to another country, that'd be so sick. Just avoid all of the other nonsense. That'd be great.
Yeah, it would definitely be a lot of fun, especially because also there's cost associated with travel, and
oh god, yeah.
Yeah, like it'd be like, hey, let's go have lunch in Milan or something, and boom, having lunch.
That'd be
in Milan.
amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of travel, if you could travel anywhere, where would you travel? No cost.
Mm,
You have
no
infinite PTO.
cost.
There's no.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Lalo.
Mm, I would love to go somewhere in the Netherlands, I think.
The
That's something
Netherlands.
that my partner and I have been talking about for a while, in terms of like actually planning a vacation.
Mm.
Um, but honestly, anywhere in Europe will do. I very
World trip, Euro trip. Yep.
yes. I have not left the United States in my life. So anywhere that
Mm.
is not here would be delightful.
Okay, get to experience another country, another culture. Yeah, that's always
Right,
good.
exactly.
Starman
Recommend
recommends
Prague. Ooh,
Prague. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Prague. Like, it's just absolutely gorgeous.
nice. Beautiful city. Very
Mhm.
cool.
That's where I want to go, says Mega Mocap. Very cool. Um, all right, Noodleheads and Gatos. Come on. You got to have a question. You got to have a burning question. Little Hollow, you just got here. Ask a question.
There
Um,
were a couple as we were going, so.
oh, gotcha. Hmm. Oh, what game do you want to play next? Like, even if you like cost isn't a barrier or anything like that. Like,
Hmm. Well, I just started playing a couple new games. Started playing Satisfactory, which was really fun.
mm,
Uh, Honestly, I want to play just like a general thing. I want to play more indie titles. I want to
mm,
get more into that sort of thing. Like, if for no other reason than to give some of these smaller passion projects a bit more exposure. Because I know it can be hard to
get your game
even
out
even
there.
if you have a what's that?
Get your game out there, type of thing. Yep.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So,
Mhm.
you know, even if I can contribute a little bit for, helping out a passion project like that, that'd be sick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What's up, Pixie Meat? How you doing? There goes Pixie Meat. Um, Mega Mocap says I was so close. I went to uh check instead. It was actually really sick too. Okay. Okay. I can't pronounce that city, but I'm sure it was gorgeous. Um, okay. Awesome. All right. We're gonna close out. We're gonna close out the questions, and then we'll say bye to YouTube. Let me do one more. Let me do one more. Hmm. Oh, guilty pleasure. What's your guilty pleasure show right now? Show, anime, movie?
Mm.
What are you binging right now?
I've been rewatching an old hyperfixation of mine. When Little Witch Academia came out, I was really into it. And then I don't even remember what reminded me of it, but um I was like, you know what? We'll give that another go. So I've been watching that again, and I've kind of gotten back into it. I don't even remember how old that show is, but
Little Witch Academia. Is that an anime or is it a?
yeah,
Ah, okay.
yeah, it's like a cute little magic-y type of show. It's cute,
Not very
not
old.
very old. That's
Yeah.
fair. I just don't remember when it came out.
Yeah, Chibi's another anime buff. Chibi freaking guzzles anime online.
I
Um,
need to watch more of it. I've been doing a lot of rewatching old anime that I used to watch, but
it's a good
there's so much
one.
more out there, you know.
Loved it, says Chibi. Okay,
Nice.
okay. Um, all right. I think with that, we'll say bye to YouTube. So everyone, it's the same as before. If you type HIYT, we'll say bye to YouTube. We'll say bye to YouTube for this portion of the interview. Um, and then we will say bye. All right, let me get the stream ending going. All right, I'm going to link NoodleCat does things. All of their socials below. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and go hang out with NoodleCat.